And just like that, guys, another rough day for stocks, and it was a rough week overall, man. Let me tell you, all the indices got crushed, especially after Tesla and Alphabet's earnings. So let's dive into it, break down what happened today, the charts, where my head's at, and overall stocks I'm watching, and what I'm looking to do in this market. So guys, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, it's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stockssurfest.com/Patreon. And now let's talk. So overall today, guys, the Qs really dragged down the entire market. The S&P actually had a slight green day, as the Dow did as well, more than just a slight green day. The Dow went up 0.5% as the S&P went up 0.1. The VIX went down a little bit, so volatility didn't go too crazy today. Bitcoin went down, the Qs went down over 1%, and the Russell went down 0.3. So the indices were split. Green for the Dow, green for the S&P barely, as the Qs again led the losses. Tech continues to get hit, guys, and overall the small caps as well. So we can see here the Qs fell right through that 685 level, which we talked about earlier, right? You guys remember that in that first video today. We took out 685, 690 really was that first domino to fall. Then we took out 685, and you guys can see, if I pull the 4-hour quickly, the wide open gap that could fill down to about 665, 670 potentially, right? And you can see on the intraday, look at what happened here. We saw the big dump off in the morning. The bulls came in hot. We saw a relief rally, and they failed to take out the pre-market high, and we dumped for the rest of the day. That is very bearish in the short term, where we see, a little rally, and the bears just come back in and the bulls fizzle out. That's a classic bull trap right there, guys. And again, we tanked it to close. We took out the lows from the last couple of days. So this looks bearish heading into the weekend, guys. And right now, the descending triangle on the Qs is slowly starting to play out. And on the S&P, if I pull up SPY, the charts look a little different. But the fact that we are taking out the lows from, earlier this July, honestly, all of July, we're slowly breaking through this support right here. That's not a good sign. You guys see that? Honestly, it's kind of a descending triangle as well. Yeah, it is. I mean, look, that's starting to play out. So SPY might be going down. Keyword is might. Nothing's guaranteed. Who knows? This market is all over the place after all, but it might be going down potentially to fill this gap. There's a wide open gap down to about 728, 730. So not much downside, I would say, in the short term, but keep your eyes on this window right here. I know I am, guys. I know I am heading into next week. So what do you think? I mean, look, the overall market, if you're just in an S&P fund right now, the market's not treating it too bad. The S&P is actually not down much at all from all-time highs. You're really feeling the sell-off if you're strictly in the Qs, using leverage, especially in some of these semiconductor stocks, memory names, the AI plays. That's where you're really feeling the pain right now. But if you're in something like the S&P, guys, right? If you're a Voo and chill type of guy, which is a great type of investor to be, honestly, if you want to set it, forget it, not be involved at all, that's a great way to do it. It's only down 2.5% from all-time highs, which is absolutely insane, and the Qs are down probably 9% now. Let me see here. The Qs are down from 748 to 684, so we're roughly down, about 9% from all-time highs. Not too bad at all. And you can see other stocks, it's not all tech stocks. We might as well start talking about some stocks here, guys. It's not all tech stocks, right? Some of them, like Apple, for example, AAPL, check this out. Apple had a 3.5% green day today. Apple's almost at all-time highs again, like it was a couple of days ago, or actually like 10 days, a week, whatever, a week, 10 days ago. Either way, we're pushing all-time highs again on Apple. Think about it. Apple, in hindsight, was the best buy about a month ago. You would have avoided this entire semiconductor melt up, sell off, memory, this, that, blah, 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 which I think it's short term anyway, but you would have actually made money on a stock during that melt up. And Apple's been having a great year overall. This stock year to date, let me pull up this chart. We can see the stock was at 275 to start the year. It sold off a little bit. Now it's back in the low mid, more like mid 300s, which is insane. And Apple, look, they don't have the type of exposure to data centers as some of the other hyperscalers do. At the end of the day, they don't have crazy capital going towards this, which their peers, they're heavily spending on, servers, chips, and Apple avoided that massive, CapEx cycle essentially that's triggering a lot of this caution throughout the market at this point in time. And they're partnering and integrating external models rather than self-funding massive data center expansions. And essentially, they sidestep the direct financial exposure of unproven AI infrastructure returns. Even though I think there will be returns, right? The market's a little uneasy right now. And the fact that Apple doesn't have that exposure, right? Money's flocking into the stock, essentially, kind of as a safe haven in the tech space that has growth still, that has that, moat around the business. That's what we're seeing here. And of course, their hardware guys, the iPhone, the iPad, the Mac, these are all selling like hot cakes still. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that safe haven in the tech space, and that might sound crazy to some people. Is there really a safe haven? But when you look at Mag 7, some of the biggest companies in the world, Apple has been a safe haven stock, which doesn't mean it's gonna just rip the 400 now and keep going up forever. I mean, it could. Hey, it could go to 400 next month for all we know. But all I'm saying is over the last couple of months, yeah, money's been coming in. Weeks, really, a lot of money's been coming in. This stock's up from the low less than a month ago. We hit 273. Now we're at 333. The stock's up 22%. Big move for Apple heading into earnings. By the way, they have earnings early August, I believe. No, actually a week from yesterday. So buckle up, guys. Next Thursday, we're getting Apple's earnings, and the stock, I don't want to say it's priced to absolute perfection, but it's almost at all-time highs, and you could argue it's getting close to that. So Apple had a great day. It's had a great week, phenomenal last couple of weeks. Great name to be in, honestly, during the sell-off. And Tesla, man, it's the opposite. Tesla keeps on getting nailed. This stock had another 2% red day. It went down all the way to 306 today. The stock went down 14% yesterday after earnings where they missed EPS. There's profitability concerns, negative free cash flow, CapEx is up, right? So a lot of panic around Tesla in the short term. Are they going to be able to execute? What's going to happen with robotics, FSD? And that is where that's why the stock's seeing this right now. The doubt that they're able to execute on these vast plans they have, and when will this actually happen? Because we all know the automotive business, although it is it is growing nicely again. I think it grew 25% year over year. The reality is it's not big enough to support the massive valuation that Tesla has. Tesla, the valuation's at 1.2 trillion now with the sell-off. It was higher before. It was at like 2 trillion almost at one point, or was it 1.5, 1.7, either way. But now investors are questioning, is this valuation, does the automotive business justify it? Obviously not, but when's robotics going to come about? When is this going to add meaningful, money to the bottom line? Same with FSD, robotaxi, right? Maybe that's farther away than we thought. Maybe this is what investors are thinking, right? Farther than we thought. So, maybe we got to sell the stock now. Maybe it's not coming next year, the year after that. Although I think it's a little overdone, but that's what investors are thinking. They're spooked at this point. And on the 4-hour chart, I mean, it's ugly. We took out the lows from the middle of April. On the 1-year chart, we're now trading where we were pretty much a year ago, last summer. And, on the 3-year chart, now we're trading at close to where we were back in 2023. If we zoom in on this price action, we kind of triple topped at about 275 to 290, or more like 275 to 280, that range on Tesla. And we're at 30. We hit 306 today. We got pretty close to that. So we're trading near where we were 3 years ago, and we're pretty much right where we were a year ago. So in other words, Tesla stock, man, it's if you bought it 3 years ago, you're barely up. The stock really hasn't played out too well recently, but the chart isn't that bad at all. You know what I mean? If we look here, we're clearly maintaining higher lows, and you could argue we're nearing a technical bounce point. And I'm actually arguing that myself. I don't think we go much under 275. I could be wrong, but I don't think we go much under that triple bottom resistance from 3 years ago. That's a big support. Maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe the stock collapses more. I don't know. But my bet here is I don't think we go much under this spot. So what am I doing? I am going to buy a good chunk of Tesla next week. I'm bringing my average cost down big time. Right now, it's not looking too pretty. I got to be honest with you guys. Across 2 accounts, well, in my 1 account, I bought it earlier, right? So my average cost isn't as, high, if you will. But in my Patreon portfolio, I think it's sitting at like a 410. It's bad right now. I'm down, or maybe it's 408. Either way, guys, the stock is down about 20 to 25% from where I'm from, or where I'm at. Not awful, not abysmal, not the end of the world. It's not 70%. That would be bad. It's 20 to 25%, and I'm looking to average that down. If I can somehow get my average cost down to the mid 300s during this drawdown, I know that might be crazy. We'll see how much money I could put into it, but that would be ideal if I can get it down to the mid 300s, maybe lower. If this thing gets down to 270, man, I'm going to really pile in down there. And look, I haven't really bought at all during this big drawdown here. I haven't bought yet. That's the thing. Well, I nibbled a little bit at 333 right after earnings, maybe a little, premature there, but I'm waiting for that bigger chunk to buy Monday. If this thing goes lower, if this somehow goes under 3, it's going to be, I'm going to buy some shares, guys. So that's where I'm at. Long-term thinking here. I'm thinking long-term. The free cash flow hit is short-term. Profitability concerns are short-term. Long-term, I still think their vision's intact, and I think they're going to execute, even if it takes a little longer than expected, even if the valuation's getting hit in the short term. Because of that, excuse me, guys, I'm still buying as I'm a long-term shareholder in this stock. What do you guys think about that? So that's a quick breakdown on Tesla. Overall, not the best day. Bad week, man. This thing started off the week, I don't think I mentioned this, at 386, and we went down to 306. So we lost $80 a share, 20% throughout the week, which is rough. I mean, that's bad. But hey, it's one of those stocks that it could go to 275, sure. It could get hit more, but in 3 months down the line, it could be up 70% off the lows. We've seen Tesla do that so many times. Guys, look, I've been making YouTube videos. I've been in the market for over 10 years, making YouTube videos for like 7 years, right? I've been tracking Tesla for a while. It does it all the time. You guys know. There are periods where it gets nailed, right? And then it can come back just as fast, it seems like. It feels like, at least. So that's a quick breakdown there. Overall, not the best day, not the best week. Other stocks, man, the AI trade keeps on just getting, ripped up, ripped down. It's up one day, down the next. Nebius dropped 15% today, man. Completely eviscerated. Stocks like ARM Holdings down 8%. This thing continues to go down. Micron lost pretty much all the gains from yesterday, right? Or maybe not all the gains, but yeah, all the gains from the last 2 days. Micron went down 7%. We hit $1,000 yesterday. Now we're back at 920. This is why I'm not buying this stock yet. It's each time it tries to break out, we're not there yet. I'm not forcing it. It pump fakes. Each time it tries to break 1,120 or 1,020, it gets hit. Resistance, boom, just like that. So I'm gonna wait for the clean break, even if it means I don't get the cheapest price. I'm trying to get back in on the momentum. If it happens, when it happens, we'll see. That's what I'm waiting for. So that's a quick breakdown, guys. I don't want to carry on too much here, but overall, that's the video. Crazy day, crazy week for the market. Hang in there, man. These times too shall pass. The tariffs, the conflict in Iran, the war, whatever you want to call it, man. These things too shall pass. We'll be good. If we focus on the long term, invest money that we only need for the long term. Don't invest money you need tomorrow, Have your investment pile be money you don't need for a long time. If that's how we invest, we'll be all right. We'll be fine. Don't invest money you need tomorrow, guys. Bad idea. And I'll leave you with that. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon if you want to be a part of my portfolio updates, trades, private Discord. That's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stasurfest.com/Patreon. I'll see you guys in there. Have a great day.